No matter how big the dream is, it someday ends. No matter how long the night is, the sun rises. That's the beauty of life. If you aren't given a lot of money, you will by default crave a lot of money. If you weren't able to feel warmth from your parents, you in your whole life will try to find that warmth from others. That's the fate which humans have always been dealt with, that they have no power whatsoever. They don't care about the things they have and instead focus on the things that they lack. And this creates a loop, a vicious loop of getting one thing and then wanting the next, and getting another thing and then wanting the next. Thus, most of us are never really happy. That's what we believe to be, right? That I will be happy when I get the next promotion. I will be happy when I crack that exam. I will be happy when I retire my parents. We create all these superficial goals which validate us that okay, you have done this thing and now you have been given the permission to be happy, to be truly alive. But that's wrong, right? Because most of us know that life is a long journey towards a destination no one knows. We don't know if there is a pot of gold for us in the end, right? And this journey of acquiring the pot of gold is the real gold, right? Because in this journey, nothing stays with us except the experiences we have, the relationships we build with people. I had a girlfriend. She was such a great person to be with. She always used to give me answers which were relatively simple to the complex questions to which I asked to her. I asked to her that how can I know that I'm doing enough? And she replied that if you feel that you are working as much as possible, then yeah, that's that's it. All the implications that what if I'm biased, or maybe I'm wrong, or maybe I'm thinking too much, like all these things went out of the window. She calmed my overthinking mind. But as always, the no matter how beautiful the dream is, it ends, right? And that's why it ended. All these beautiful relationships I had with her ended. And this brings me a lot of sorrow to think that the time I had with her was brief, was relatively very short, of which I had imagined, but it was packed with so many beautiful little moments that I can't really express in words. For me, I never waited for a person my entire life, but she was the first one for whom I waited, and that feeling was something which I never felt before. That feeling of getting anxious over a girl's text, I never felt before. And I did. She was the first person to bring lunch for me, and that really made me happy. She was the first person to pack my bag in class, and that made me happy. The goal in life is not to be happy, and that's a clear cut statement, right? The goal in life is not to be happy. The goal in life is to have experiences, both positive and negative, because both experiences, whether positive or negative, shape you in some way or form. That's true. But the time I had with her was something which can never be replicated. It was once a moment, it was once experience. Like after this I can't fall in love the same way I did with her, because my mind will always know that somewhere deep in it that this happened before, and I will always have this edge on me that maybe she will leave, maybe this won't work. But with her there was nothing of this sort. It was that we will stay together till the day we die, right? But yeah, that ended. And that's why I think that both happiness and sorrow at some point do end. And if you are in such a period of extreme happiness, or if you are in a period in where you are in the trenches, just know that if you just maintained, someday this will end. Both happiness will end and sadness will end. This notion that you have to be happy all the time is wrong, because life is full of both happiness and sadness, like the energies of being yin and yang, right? And that's the beauty of life. I wouldn't have appreciated the lessons she taught me if she was still with me. People really linger on the things which were uncompleted, like the love between Spider-Man and his Gwen, the love between Itachi and his girlfriend. Like all these things which never had a happy ending are so much sympathized with. But people fail to understand that if these love stories were completed, then they wouldn't be tragic, and then they would never be, then they wouldn't sit with the human consciousness the same as it did. Because most of the people have found tragedy in love and not solace, right? And that's the audience to which these uh, notions are directed for. I loved I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. It was directed towards a person like me who was really shallow, and then he met a girl and then he changed. He, for the first time, he actually wanted to go to school. It was not like, yeah, I will go. It was like, I wanted to go. I wanted to be in the class for the first time. And that's feeling which I can never have in my life, because it was just a once experience. That feeling of extreme happiness, of having a joy, of looking forward to each day, that's something which she taught me, that okay, this is something which you can experience, like this is a part of life which you can have. And she was the one who made that real for me. So it was beautiful in many ways than one. And no matter where life gets, I will always try to love her, because obviously when you don't get what you want, you have some kind of negative link, a negative feeling in your mind, and that's a root cause to a lot of suffering. And that's human, that's humane. So don't worry about that. Yeah, take care.